different angles. Okay, good morning everybody. It's great to see you all, familiar faces, supportive and friendly faces. Well, today I want to talk about web design and online marketing, search engine optimization that every business owner or entrepreneur should know. I'll start with the basics and we'll kind of go into a little bit more intermediate stuff, and then you can feel free to ask me questions and we'll have a couple of minutes at the end too. So whether you have your own business or you work for a corporation that provides you a website, I believe that these are some things that you really ought to know. So what is a website? So first of all, we want to have a domain name. So, joeplumberchicago.com, right? So that's, let's say, a domain name. So that's your address online. Just like you have an office address, that's your address online. How do you get that? So in order to get that domain name, you go to, there are various companies that provide that service. You can go to GoDaddy, HostGator, and buy the domain name for the year. Now, once you have the domain name, then you want to connect that to what we call hosting. Hosting is just basically a computer that stays open and on 24/7. So you want to make sure that you have some kind of hosting. Again, there's HostGator, GoDaddy, you can get the hosting. Once you have the domain name and hosting, you connect the two, you have your website. You can do the website yourself or hire somebody to do it. But what I want to talk to you about today is what are some of the things that you should consider when you have a website? Okay, so if you're lucky enough for visitors to come and look at your website, you have, research says 2 to 4 seconds before they may move on to something else. As we all know, attention span is very, very short these days. So in order to maximize that 2 to 4 second, what can we do? Well, we need to have a clear and precise message and what we call a call to action, right? So if you're a plumber, you want to get a clear message like we fix XYZ, right? If you're in trouble, we do this. Just a quick snapshot of what you do. Maybe a picture, maybe a video, right? It all depends on your personal preference, but I would also consider looking into some research. Find out what other successful plumbers are doing in the area, and then just get the ideas and create your own. And that's kind of what I enjoy doing. I enjoy researching many different things, and then I learn, I build my knowledge, and then I try to create my own. So, homepage, you want to have, and again, if you have a picture, I always, again, depends on the business, but I always prefer to have your own, okay? Because you want to build that know, like, and trust, right? So if somebody comes to your website and they see your picture, your team, you're going to build that connection better than if you go to a stock photography and, yes, pictures are nice, great looking people, but are you building that connection with the people? Maybe not. So that's number one. Number two, equally important is your website mobile friendly? That's huge. A while back I ran a Groupon and they provided me analytics. About 80% of the people coming to the Groupon were coming from a handheld or a tablet. Okay, so most people coming to your website are more than likely coming from a handheld or a tablet. That means you really need to have a mobile friendly website. That's a must. Now, moving on to the next point. People come to your website, but are you capturing their information, right? So this is what we call an email opt-in. We need to create engagement. We need to build that trust, but how can we do that unless we communicate and we share? And number one way to build that trust is providing education. So try to provide something that for free that your customer would normally pay for, right? So if I'm providing some kind of consultation that normally I may charge money for, okay, I need to just get out of my comfort zone and just provide that for free to build my credibility, because there's so much competition out there and I want to build my ideal audience. So when they come to your website, try to guide them to get to the email opt-in. And that's not easy. Okay, what are you providing? What are we providing that's so much of value that someone is willing to give away their email address to you? Because we all get junk, right? So that kind of brings me to the next point, which is what we call a landing page. Okay, so what is a landing page? Most of you may have heard of it. Well, landing page is basically like a website, but it's a one-page website, less noise, right? So your regular website may have about us, testimonial, services, contact me, my office address, a lot of different pages. It may have 5, 6, 8 pages. Landing page typically has one page with a clear call to action. Now, another thing the landing page has that I want you to kind of remember, and you may already know this, which is a lead magnet. We all know what a lead is. Lead magnet is something that you want to, again, give away for free, but it's so good that your customer should be willing to pay for it, but you're giving it away for free. Okay, so in other words, what's a lead magnet? It could be a free ebook. Okay, so if you're an accountant, 5 mistakes entrepreneurs make while filing taxes, right? Now, that's something that may be valuable if you're an accountant for your customers, right? So customers may want to get that from you. Well, in order to get that, they have to give you their name, email address, maybe a phone number. You have to decide. What else may be valuable for your customer, would you say? Yeah.
I think my IT lady is in the process of doing just that.
Yeah.
We're having she's creating a lead magnet. Five things the IRS doesn't want you to know, or something like
There you
that.
go. Exactly.
It's on the landing page. They leave their name, email, and then we send it to them, and now we've captured their contact information.
Exactly. And you decide, do you want their name, email, maybe a phone number? And people are less likely, people are very protective of their information, which rightly so.
Right.
So you want to pick and choose what you want. Maybe not too much, because then people click away from that. So that's perfect, yeah. You want to create, so in your industry, you need to think about what are some things that your customers would really, really benefit from, right? So for me, it may be 5 essentials for a website, right? That every business owner, I can just outline it into 5 different chapters, a quick ebook, and here they have it. Even if they don't come to me as a service, I don't mind. I want them to have that information as a service, as a value, because 2 years down the road, if they have an issue with their website, I want them to remember they came to my website. Thank you. Came to my website and they got something of value. So it's not a short term, but it's a long term relationship, right? And building that credibility. So that's what a landing page is. There's a lot of information, so I don't want to cram too much into a short presentation, but to summarize, website, you get a domain name, hosting, we talked about hosting. Then we talked about your website, whether you do it on your own or you hire somebody, you should have a clear message and call to action, collect email addresses, also make sure it's mobile responsive. It's you can browse the website from your handheld, you need to test that out. Then we talked about landing page. Landing page is something that you really want to promote about yourself, but it really should be about what you do for others. It could be a short video, it could be a ebook, it could be many different things. It could even be actually a paid product, right? You could have an ebook that it's so good that somebody may pay you $10 for it. That's fine. You can put it on the landing page, right? So that's what we call passive income. Once you build that credibility and you give away free education, you may get to a point where people trust you and you can provide a higher level of product or service, and people know they're paying you $10, but they're getting value for $100, right? So it's all about being authentic, genuine, and giving a service that people can benefit from. So that's just some of the fundamentals that I thought that people could benefit from.